Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to pick our point that we're going to rotate first. You have to do each point one at a time. And I'm going to start with E, and I'm going to draw a line between my center of rotation and E. So I draw line OE. Okay, and I'm rotating it 30 degrees counterclockwise. So 30 degrees in this direction up here. This is an E. So I'm going to measure with my protractor this time 30 degrees from this line. And I'm going to draw a new line. So you line the center of your protractor up with your center point O, and then the bottom of it with the line, and then to 30 degrees. Yeah, that's why I like these ones, because they have the compass and the protractor on it. Yeah. Okay, then what we're going to do, make sure you're listening, is with our compass, so draw OE. Oh, I forgot to put my next step. Measure 30 degrees from OE to find my new line. I should hear less talking. Okay, now on the front of this page, you guys told me that the distance between O and the points I'm rotating is always going to stay the same. So I want O to E and O to E prime, after I change it, to be exactly the same. So you could measure that distance and measure on this line, but an easier way to do it is to take your compass, measure the distance, and draw an arc through both of them, or you could draw a circle all the way around. Because then what happens is that tells me that E is going to be on this line that rotated 30 degrees, and E is going to intersect with that circle, because that means it's the same distance from point O. So E prime goes right there. Okay, and then my intersection is E prime. So let's try it again with F. And I'm going to do it in a different color so you can see the difference between my lines. So the first thing I did was draw a line between the center and the point I'm rotating. So I'm going to draw a line between O and F. Okay, and then I measured 30 degrees. And I redrew my line because it's moving 30 degrees. So I moved the pink line 30 degrees. And before, when I had E, I moved the purple line 30 degrees. Okay, and then I draw my circle or arc through F and through my new line, so I know how far it. Wow, I drew that line the perfect length. Check that out. And then where the line and the circle intersect is F, because remember on the front of the page we looked and all of the dots stayed on the same circle, so we're doing the same thing, we're just not drawing the whole circle, we just drew an arc. You can draw the whole circle if you want to, I just didn't want to take up so much space. I drew through F instead of through E. What? No, the steps are up to you. I was just writing it so people could see it. Yes, McLaren.
Okay, so when you make a new one, it's every single letter.
Anytime you change something, it's prime from what it was.
So you can do either way.
So you have to do every point. So I did E, and then I finished, and now I'm doing F, and now I'm going to have to do it for the other two. You got it now? Okay. if you think you've got it, keep going and do D and F. I'm going to do, D and G. I'm going to do G up here if you want to watch one more. So quietly work on it if you've got it, or pay attention up here if you need more help. So again, I draw a line between O and the point that I'm rotating. I'm going to use blue this time. Then, and this is why you want to use pencil, because you see how many lines I have now, it can get confusing. So if you want to erase lines as you go along, that's fine. I draw a line between O and G. Then I'm going to measure 30 degrees from that line and draw a dotted line out to find my new line. A dotted line out for my new line, I mean. Okay, then what do I do next? Can somebody tell me what I do next after I have that line? I use my compass for something. McLaren? Draw an arc through what? Through the line, but how far out do I go?
You measure from like O to G and then
O to the point I'm rotating, which in this case is G, and it goes right here. So my new point G intersects right there, and this is G prime. So now I have E, F, and G. Yes?
Okay, so D and O are like on a line already because of the G line. So
Yes, that's a great noticing. So McLaren noticed that D and E are already on the same line when you go out from O. Like if I was to draw a new line, it goes straight through the line that I drew before. So that means I already rotated that line, so I can use the same line that I already drew for point E and just extend it further, and then use my compass to do what? To make my arc through point D. Oops, that's not very good. And then it intersects right there, and there is point D. And then my last step is to connect all the points. And if I connect all of the points, I have exactly the same shape that I had before. Looks good to me. Good job. Okay, so if you finish this and you feel ready to move on, go ahead and